Hello and welcome back to Strategic Investor Radio on OC Talk Radio. We're grateful you joined us. We're talking here about the 4th Annual Liquid Alternative Strategies Summit to be held on May 1st in New York City. And we're speaking with one of the speakers at the conference, James Velessaris, CIO of Infinity Q Capital Management. James, welcome to Strategic Investor Radio.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, James, what will you be speaking about at the conference?
I'm going to be speaking about volatility in the equity markets. There's going to be a panel that's focused on the discussions of, what happened recently in that market and kind of an outlook looking forward.
That's certainly a timely topic here. Could you tell us in 30 seconds your view of what happened, last week with the VIX and with those companies that had shorted the VIX and that went out of business? What happened?
Yeah, so I think due to the environment in 2017, there were increasing asset flows into various expressions of essentially the same idea, being short U.S. equity volatility. And so there was this growing risk as volatility got lower of an unwind that would be, extremely detrimental to the investors that entered that market. And so as volatility goes lower, a lot of these products, the ETN products, their exposure actually gets higher and higher without the retail investor knowing because the underlying instrument that's being traded is nonlinear. And so if you look at XIV, for instance, the product that blew up, the exposure at the end of 2016 versus the exposure at the end of January of 2018, it was roughly like 3.2 times the exposure in January 2018 to a vol spike, given the move lower in volatility. And so that meant that it was essentially sowing the seeds for the move that eventually took place by getting more and more exposure into that product. And so we had always thought those products weren't really suitable for a retail audience because they're complex derivatives underneath the surface. And, people trade for 20 years and still have run into trouble trading derivatives. And so it requires a lot of focus on risk management and nonlinear exposures.
Okay, well, we appreciate that input, and we're all still trying to figure that one out. So obviously you're speaking on the volatility. Tell us about, you obviously have a strategy in volatility. Who invests in your strategy and why?
Almost all the investors that invest in our strategy, we're looking to diversify their portfolios away from equity, their core equity and bond exposures, in a strategy that had low beta over a cycle to the S&P, but also had potentially the ability to make money when equities declined. And so the way we manage our volatility portfolio is that over time, our performance has historically been better when volatility spikes or is higher. And so we're not necessarily a tail hedge fund where, we've generated positive performance during the rally, but we have more trading opportunities and more opportunities to make money when volatility is higher. And so that gives us a unique opportunity to be placed in someone's portfolio. And for 16 and 17, when there weren't really any events, we were able to generate positive performance. But then in a year like this, we generate outsized performance when the rest of someone's portfolio is losing money.
So, James, for those who would like to know more, where can they go?
So you can go to our website. It's www.infinity and then the letter Q.com. We have a bunch of information on our website. If it strikes your interest, we'd be happy to have a discussion or a conference call.
Okay. Well, James, thank you very much for joining us today. We appreciate it. And for those who would like to know more about the conference, they can be reached at jveventsgroup.com. That's the letter J, the letter V as in Victor, eventsgroup.com for more information on the conference. James, thank you very much for joining us, and we hope that your presentation and the entire conference are a success.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Again, you're listening to Strategic Investor Radio on OC Talk Radio. We'll be right back.